Hello, everyone. This is Evelyn Ackah from Ask Canadian Immigration Lawyer, Evelyn Ackah podcast. And I am so delighted today. I have the pleasure of interviewing my friend and colleague, Davina Frederick, who is a lawyer as well as a business entrepreneur coach for women in law. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining us, Davina.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited and delighted to be here, Evelyn.
So Davina is the founder and CEO at Wealthy Women Lawyer, LLC, based in the United States. And she has been an entrepreneur for more than 25 years. And I am looking forward to digging deep and learning about your law background, your marketing background, and how you coach and help exceptional women lawyers get to that next level. So let's start with an intro. You can tell me about yourself so that my audience will learn about you and your services and your expertise.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you having me here. It's been such a delight. You and I have known each other now for a couple of years, and
Yes,
I've had you on my podcast.
yes.
So I'm super excited to be here today and talk to you. So I am a Florida United States licensed attorney and have been for 14 years. I started my own law practice right out of law school, but law school and becoming a lawyer, it was a second career for me. Prior to going to law school and becoming an attorney and starting my own practice, I had a previous career in marketing, working as a professional copywriter, and over the years, working with agencies and other professional service businesses. So I got an opportunity to go to law school and I seized it and became an attorney. And I did so. By then, I was in my late 30s. And by the time I graduated from law school, I was 40.
That's great.
And I had I had the opportunity then to start my own firm because I was married and my husband, I would provide that security for me while I took that big leap.
Mhm.
And I thought that it was, it's not going to be any big deal, right? Because I had a lot of experience in business. I certainly knew how to get clients. Um, and I really underestimated how difficult it was to be a baby lawyer and be a new business owner at the same time.
Yes.
So over time, I grew my business very successfully. I brought in a partner. We hired a team and set up systems, and we ran a very successful law firm business. And I had some things happen in my personal life that just caused me to put on the pause button and
Mhm.
really think about where I was headed in my life and my business. And over a couple of years of trying out some different things, I landed on what my true passion is. I was exposed to coaching, business coaching, and it really changed my life. And so I developed my skills in that. And really, what I was looking for was something that combined my the skills that I had developed from my life in business as a marketer for professional service businesses and my strategic thinking skills
Mhm.
and analytical skills and all those things I had developed being an attorney. And I really wanted to bring those two together. And that's how I wound up becoming a law firm growth strategist and business coach for women lawyers.
That's incredible. I love, Davina, how you niched your practice. Like it's not just I'm helping everybody who runs a law firm. And it's about growth and it's about women. So tell me about that. Like, why did you think that this was your niche and your expertise? Obviously, you're a woman, I'm a woman, but we've both worked with men in different
Yeah.
capacities, of course. What was it that you thought was different about women in law?
Yeah. So, there are a couple of reasons why I niched my practice or my business,
Mm,
and it didn't start out that way. When I started going into 9 years ago now, but when I started about 8 years ago, I I knew that I was going to serve professional service-based businesses. So I did
mhm,
not have experience in retail and e-commerce and these kinds of things. I knew for me, professional service had always been where I had been throughout my entire career. And so I began with working with a variety of different professional service business owners, men and women.
mhm.
And I really enjoyed it. I'm a Gemini, so I love that variety, and I love having those multiple personalities and everything. It
Yes.
was great, but as I grew my business, I realized a couple of things. One is that for my business, I needed to take my own advice that I give my clients. And that is, the more specific you are speaking to a target audience, the more highly attractive you are to that audience.
Yes.
And the more you're going to repel those people who are not a good fit to work with you. So I took my own advice, and I changed the name a couple of years ago, and redirected my business, and we became Wealthy Woman Lawyer. Before, it was a more general name, and it was my name.
Yes.
So it's 𝒅𝒂𝒏 Media Marketing, and I still have that entity. And we do some other marketing aspects there, deliverables through that company with my team. But Wealthy Woman Lawyer is really my passion and where I direct my business. The other thing was, I love men. So people get the mistake that, they make the mistake thinking that I'm some man hater or something.
No.
I'm a feminist, and, but it really was a matter of making a choice for me. And one of the reasons why is because when I began to build the community and bring people together in person, it's a very different conversation in the room when it is just women
Yes.
who own a law firm business than when it is men and women who own a law firm business, or when it's women lawyers in general who work for other people and women law firm owners. We have different problems, right? So I really dialed in and became very specific. I work with women law firm owners who want to scale their law firm businesses to and through $1 million in gross annual revenue. So it's really dialed in.
I love it. I love how dialed in it is. And I've worked with you professionally, and I know your material is fabulous, and the commitment you have to your clients is very, very deep. And I think you have very strong conversations, because we're all balancing, whether it's dogs or children or extracurriculars or community work and running a business and being an employer. And one thing is, law school does not teach lawyers, as you know, how to market, how to be a business owner, how to think about accounting and finance and all of those issues. And I can see where women would love to be able to connect on that level with somebody who's done it, right? There are a lot of people out there, as you know, who say, I'm a coach, I'm a professional, I know what I'm doing, I'm going to help you scale, but they've never done it. And I think the value that you bring, Davina, is you've done it. You know the pressures, the joys, and the fears. And I think being able to target and focus on marketing and helping women with their branding, all those things you do that reflect on the bottom line and get them to those 7 figures or beyond is a huge asset. So give me a sample of when you work with a professional law firm owner, a woman one-on-one, what does that look like? Once they buy your package and they commit to your programming, what does the day-to-day, the weekly, the monthly, what does that look like in terms of their support level from you?
Right. That's a great question. And there are a couple of different ways that women law firm owners can work with me. So I began my business, as most coaches do, working one-on-one, because you're developing those relationships and connections and those skills, and you learn a lot about your client when you're working one-on-one. I still offer one-on-one services, and the reason I do, and my own coaches have told me that I probably should not do as much of that, but the reason I do is because I still love the one-on-one work with women, and actually seeing the changes they go through personally and how they come out on the other side a different person and a happier person in their life.
Yes.
I also have created a program, though, that is a course with a group component. And so it's kind of a group mastermind with other women lawyers. And I have another coach in there who helps me to manage and maintain that group and support those clients. And the reason I did that, and there's a big price point difference.
Yes.
Obviously, if you're getting access to me, we're spending a lot of time at the beginning up front developing a strategic plan for you to grow your business. And we're going to get really dialed in that plan, what your specific goals are, and then prioritizing those goals and developing strategies. Because some people are going to come to me, most of the people who are at my private client level have already gotten some marketing system in place where they're getting clients with some regularity. So that is not the place we usually wind up starting, although there may be some fine tuning there. But we we dig into what it would be like to have a systems-driven law firm business and a team to help you run it, to pull you out of working in your business and shift you to work thinking like a CEO instead of just thinking like a lawyer, and focus on working on your business. And so we meet consistently on an ongoing basis throughout the engagement, which is usually at least a year. And I have many that renew, and we continue to go because as they scale, they're developing new problems, and we're wanting to continue growing. And in the group situation, those people are also making progress. We're meeting frequently. We're meeting weekly in that group right now. And everyone has the course with my actual framework that I use to teach my one-on-one clients. They just don't have the direct one-on-one access to me the way that my one-on-one clients do.
That's great.
So yeah, we're really focused on helping our clients make the changes that they need to make, both internally and externally, to be able to own and operate a multi-seven-figure business, law firm business, without working themselves to death in the process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Health
What is the point
is
of that?
wealth, right? Health is wealth. And if you don't have it, you don't have anything. So there has to be that balance. And I speak for myself. I know the importance of finding that the best you can, exercising, eating well, all of those things. But let's talk a little bit, Davina, about legal marketing. Having worked in a law firm culture and being a lawyer and running a business, what did you learn about marketing, or what did you see what was lacking in the marketing that most lawyers, do? Because I know your business also provides some legal marketing support in addition to the coaching and the strategy work that you do.
Well, I will tell you, first of all, that I'm actually going to show it here because I happen to have it sitting here, which I keep on my desk. I didn't just bring it out for the podcast, believe it or not.
Awesome.
I wrote a whole book on marketing.
Awesome.
So
I got to get that one.
It's called The Wealthy Woman Lawyer's Guide to Law Firm Marketing in the Virtual Age. And it's 10 bold actions that you could take now to attract your ideal client with total ease. And if people want to get a free copy of this book, you can get a free copy of it by going to wealthywomanlawyer.com/book/ so wealthywomanlawyer.com. And I'm sure I'll give you that link.
Okay,
so you can put it in the
perfect.
show notes.
Yeah.
But that you get a free PDF copy of the book, or you can go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble and buy a copy.
I will buy it.
But because I have so much to say about marketing, it had to have its own book.
That's
I'm
awesome.
working on my second book right now, which is about creating a systems-driven law firm business. But marketing needs its own system. It is one of the 7 foundational systems that I talk to my clients about. And initially, when we start out with marketing, it's important. What I advise my clients, if they're just starting out, is to really maximize the organic opportunities. When I started my law firm business back in 2007, Facebook was just an infant and Instagram hadn't even been born yet. And so the tools that we have now to market our business are so, it's just amazing to me. I absolutely love what social media can do to help a small business owner grow their business. But we can quickly get caught up into thinking we have to do it all ourselves. We have to be the ones to go post on social media every day and create the memes and do all of that stuff. And if you are just starting out in your law firm and you've got more time than clients and money coming in, that may be what you choose to do, especially if that's, a hobby that you love or whatever. But very quickly, you're going to realize that this is a place that you're going to need team support. Because marketing is its own career and it's become more complex because there are all these different avenues now that we can choose. So what I talk about in my book is I give people key considerations for each different sort of online marketing tool, not just social media, but email or your website. I give you information that helps you decide what the best marketing platforms are for you and what you need to be doing. And the key thing is you want to know who your ideal client is and where they hang out.
Yes. You need to know your avatar, right?
Right. If you don't know who that ideal client is and you don't know where they hang out, you're over there dancing on TikTok thinking that you're going to get some, whatever client, right? And you may or may not.
Yeah.
Just because it has worked for another attorney in their practice does not mean it will work for you, because we don't need to get into a loop of chasing new platforms. What we need to do is figure out, where are our clients, where are they hanging out, and then get in front of them there. And Evelyn, I just want to throw up, I know I'm just going on and on, but I
No,
want
this
to
is
throw up
so
one thing.
interesting.
With this situation that just happened with Facebook and Instagram, as we're recording this, they just, poor Zuckerberg was having a horrible Mercury retrograde because Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp all went down for 6 hours, I think. And if that didn't show you that you definitely need to have a plan for marketing and communicating with your clients besides organic social media or ads on social media, then I don't know what will. I mean, email is still a very powerful generator of business. Google ads are still a very powerful generator of business. There are a lot of tools out there that we can use to automate and get a team to help us get those leads coming in on autopilot. But if you love social media, that can also be a big part of your mix too.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. I mean, it was a shocker to everybody. Obviously, at Ackah Business Immigration Law, we do Google ads, we do PPC, and we do the gamut, but and we do email. We love our MailChimp campaigns, and we do the emails to targeted different groups of people. But it's shocking, like how people were, so like devastated by Facebook going down. And I barely noticed because I was working, right? And so I think unless you rely on it or you're on it all day, every day, you didn't even notice that it wasn't there. But I'm sure the people that use it as the primary source of marketing were devastated. I know lawyer friends of mine, especially immigration lawyers in the States, who dance every day on TikTok. I don't do it because that's not my
Nobody wants to see me dance. That's the problem.
Much less. Nobody wants to see me pointing here and there. And I tried it a couple of times and it just didn't feel right for me. But also, it wasn't thinking about who my avatar was. So what you said is absolutely right. Most of our clients are corporations, corporate professionals, executives. They're not asylum seeking. They're not people that are illegal. They're not people that are uneducated. It's a different market, or they're not young people. And I know that people will say, well, every market can use it. Maybe that's true, but it has to feel right. And one thing I think I really like about your coaching and your marketing expertise has been, you need to be authentic and you need to find something that works for you, because it may not work for everybody, right?
Exactly. And also, for your clients, because like you said, if the majority of your clients are men between the ages of 50 and 70, and they're running businesses, they might be on LinkedIn or have somebody there on LinkedIn, right? And they're probably not going to be on TikTok or Instagram, with the few exceptions. The other thing I want to just not forget to mention is, I think a lot of attorneys, especially when they're starting out and they're growing their law firm business in those first few years, they get a lot of fear around marketing their business because of their ethical obligations and rules.
Yes.
And that we definitely have to pay attention to. And in Florida, the bar, there's all kinds of opinions and rules. Like, we're very, very strict. Believe it or not, I know everybody thinks Florida is just wild and crazy down here, but we do have a lot of rules. And the Young Lawyers Association just put out a pocket guide to social media. So if you haven't gotten that, grab that. But don't let the fear of violating a rule keep you from marketing your business, because truthfully, there's a lot of room for opportunity in how you market your business. What the objective of the Bar Association is to protect consumers from lawyers who are doing something that is, underhanded or slimy or whatever. Their objective is to protect them from these types of lawyers. And that's not you. And if it's not you, and they have they have an ethics hotline, and I'm sure it's the same in other jurisdictions. You have an ethics hotline, you have rules, read them. You're an attorney, you can read and interpret rules. And so don't let that stop you from marketing your business because you're scared you're going to get a bar violation. Just ask.
Totally. I think that's totally good advice. And I would say in Canada, things are even tighter. So, so we learn how to use social media in a way that is not offside. That's very, very important. I know that you also have a Facebook group, you have a podcast, you've written books. How have you found the Facebook group or page kind of building out helpful? Because as you know, I'm learning from you and other friends of ours, Regina, Irene, and others who've got these wonderful pages that are just give so much value and just free and sharing and generous. How has that creation of your website or your Facebook page built out helped you grow your business? Because that's a new strategy too.
Well, so Facebook pages don't really get a lot of traffic unless you're like a really big business and you're a big advertiser, I guess. And so, but there are rules set up as to what you can promote. And this is where we run up against bar rules too, about what you can promote on your personal page and what you can promote. So if you're promoting your business on your personal page, you need to be very careful because there likely are rules around that. And because you are communicating with people who did not ask to be there and see your stuff, right?
Yes.
Whereas if you have a page, then people know very clearly this is a business page and I'm signing up for that. One of the things that Regina has done, that I have done and others have done is we create groups.
Yes,
And,
groups, that's right.
So if you join a group, then you're in a community and you have asked to be there and participate in the community and you've been approved to be a part of the community. And that is where those conversations can go on about, like you mentioned, those resources and things. And so the strategy, I think it raises an interesting dilemma among attorneys, because attorneys think to themselves, well, how can I maximize this? Can I create a group like this? What kind of group could I create? How do I gather together people? Does that become a problem with attorney-client, blurring those lines between attorney-client? So it can be a little trickier for attorneys than it can for people who are marketing to attorneys, which is, is what attorney coaches do, right?
Yeah.
But I also will say, but one of the things, you also have to be very careful about when you are in groups and you are giving advice. I see this all the time. I'm in a copywriter group that I've been in for many, many years, and I'm tagged sometimes by my friends in the copywriter group asking what my opinion is as an attorney. And I'm like, don't tag me. That's what my opinion is.
Yeah.
I don't know, because you're not in my jurisdiction. I don't want to overstep my boundaries. But you certainly can create relationships with people. And I know some of my clients, I've got one client who's been very successful by starting an attorney group. It's a fan of moms, attorney moms in her jurisdiction. And she has gotten a lot of referrals from that. So there is a way to do it. You just have to, like I said, I just refer people back to make sure you read and understand your rules when you're doing anything on social media. Now, for me, it has been a place over the years where I have loved Facebook. I'm a chat. I like to write. I'm a writer by profession. So I love to talk and engage with people in conversation. And so for me, it was a natural thing to go and engage in conversation with people and offer opinions and my thoughts about problems they're having and then invite people to work with me if that's what they want to do. And sometimes I'm not as direct. I'm not as direct as others. I put it out there and I let my clients do the talking for me and my work speak for itself in that way. And I use a tool like email to speak more directly to people. And I also use advertising and things. So I think it's something that you can use in consort with other types of tools.
Okay, this is great, Davina. I mean, one thing I really love about building a business is you have to look at how much you're spending on marketing. So, I mean, some people are like, oh, don't spend any money on PPC, this and that. You hear these kind of crazy. And then other people say, spend 30% of your revenue on this, which is also crazy. How do you advise your clients on how much they should be thinking about contributing financially to marketing, like say on a monthly basis, to get the impact that they want. It's not always a 1-to-1 or 100-to-1, or it's not always a direct correlation, is it?
Right. Now, and here's the thing, that it's a hard question to answer because it depends on the size of your law firm.
Yeah.
It depends on your goals. It depends on your region. It depends on who your clients are. So all of that. So I don't want to name a specific number. As a general rule, I tend to say, 10 to 15% and 20, I'm a max sort of person. So I'm the kind of person who pushes that envelope on what I invest in marketing. Because I'm wanting to have a greater impact.
Yes.
So I want to serve as many women law firm owners as possible, which is why I've created such a wide variety of content, from free content to really low cost, like my book, to my group on up, right? So I'm looking at that scale of people because I want to create a greater impact. So I'm going to invest a lot in growing that audience. So it all really depends on so it's the attorney answer. It's the attorney in me. It depends, Evelyn. It depends. Right?
I get it too. Because if you do all this marketing and you don't have the production, then I've heard lawyers are like, oh my God, I can't even find people because we're so busy because we did this big increase. So you're right, it's incremental. And I think it's testing it and doing a little more and seeing what you get and getting to that place where it plateaus.
You grow into it.
Yeah.
You grow into it.
Yeah.
When you first started your business, you didn't jump right out and start advertising everywhere. You grew into it because when you're trying to transform your business, you're also transforming yourself into someone who can manage a business of that size. If someone handed you from day one the keys to, a $5 million or $10 million revenue generating business, you'd be like, oh my God, no, because we wouldn't know what to do, right? You have to become the person. So it's the same thing with your marketing. Start where you are.
Yeah.
And the key thing is visibility.
Yes.
And really making yourself visible to other people who might need your services.
I think what's so great about what you just said there, I have to just listen and say it again, is that you can transform your business, but you must transform yourself too. And I think that is the journey. It's like, what is it? The hero's journey. It's the sense of you're on a mission and you're on a journey in life. And I think to be a businesswoman, and a business owner and a lawyer, you need to be seeking constant transformation and growth in order to have the mindset, because I think mindset is a big part of it too. And most people don't recognize that as your mind develops and grows, so does your business develops and grows, right? Wow.
Absolutely. Because you've expanded your capacity for it, right? If we don't have the capacity for wealth, or we don't have the capacity for success at a certain level, we wouldn't know what to do with it. That's why you see people who win the lottery and they go from working a job that, is a job from paycheck to paycheck, and they win the lottery and they blow through it so quickly, because as human beings, they just haven't done the internal work. They haven't had the luxury of it, most likely, of doing the self-actualization work, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. They haven't been able to self-actualize, And so that really is, when you're growing your law firm business, it really is about you becoming that. Just like it is about you becoming a master, litigator, right? You want to become the top of your field. That's not something you snap your fingers. You may have some raw talent there, but it's trying cases and being in the courtroom for years and years and years that makes you the master.
Exactly.
Very much like that with running your business.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Well, listen, as we're starting to wrap up, I just wanted to ask you about who for you, yes, we know you work with women lawyers and law firm owners, but is there a certain ideal type of woman law firm owner? Because there are a lot of us out there, but not all of them you would probably want as your avatar, right? What is their mindset, or what is their seeking that allows you to have a really good connection with the potential new client?
I would tell you the number one characteristic is somebody who is open-minded to what's possible that they may not even have considered. And so what I mean by that is, if you have a very fixed mindset and usually that's born out of fear.
Yes.
We've been taught to think a certain way. And so by our family of origin or by life experiences or whatever. And so we may have a lot of fear around taking risks, and trying to really reach for that brass ring. So that kind of mindset is not something that I'm going to respond well to. It's not that I don't care about people as human beings and I don't have compassion for them, but just in how I am as a coach and how my programs are, I'm looking for people who know enough to know that they probably don't know. And that's how, and they're open to the idea that they see all around them, all the people that they're looking at and they're admiring, and they're saying, I want to be like her, I want to be like her. And they can't figure out how to make that happen. How is that possible? But they know that if they just, know the secret or the magic or whatever, that they will be able to do it too. Those are the people that I like to talk with. And the reason why is because it's not magic. There is no magic pill or secret, but I know that if you are open-minded and you are willing to listen to another perspective and examine and explore other possibilities, you're going to there's nothing in the world that's going to stop you from getting what you want if you have that kind of attitude. So it's really attitude more than anything.
Perfect.
Right? And there's a place for it in working with me. If you don't feel I can afford, if you have mindset issues around I can afford this level, there are places to work with me. And so I have some people who follow me for years and enjoy my free content.
Yeah.
And then one day they raise their hand and they say, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And, and then I have others who've come into the lead program and they do that for a while and they say, okay, I'm ready. Now I want to work with you one-on-one. So, it's not about what you think what you can afford or not afford. It's really about the ability to just be open to, exploring what's possible, because that's what's worked for me.
Yeah, no, I think that's a perfect description of what works best. And I think the other piece is implementing and execution, right? The value of working with a professional, growth coach and consultant like yourself, and is not just financial growth, but mental growth, personal growth. I love that. That's kind of how you describe yourself. You're not just, I'm a law firm coach or a law firm consultant. It's about growth. And I think when you lead with that, people who are looking for growth connect to that, right?
And we all have it in us.
Yeah.
We all have it in us. I'm not some, a guru who's going to, share something down from the mouth that's a brilliant thing. It's really about being a support.
Yes.
And a guided support, right?
Yes.
To help you to in your unfolding and in your discovery of your own skills and abilities. And yeah, I do function as a consultant as well. I mean, when you know things, you don't hold that back from people, right?
Yeah.
But it also is about people. I don't dictate to people what their law firm business needs to look like. You don't need to have a law office with your name on the door and 100 people working for you. You can have a virtual firm and everybody's remote. And,
exactly.
I don't have a dog in that fight. That's all about what you want, right?
Yes.
And so I just think it's important to just say, hey, I know I have this dream of being able to take the month of August off and leave my business and it works like a machine. If that's your dream, that is possible. And you just need to trust that that is possible. And then we can have a conversation about how you can go about getting it.
It is certainly possible. I did it this summer and it was a great time and everything ran well. And obviously working with you and some of the other professionals I've worked with, I think as law firm owners, we're always looking for resources to do better and to improve and to learn, and different minds and people give you different insights. So I want to thank you so much, Davina Frederick, for joining us and for sharing your knowledge and sharing your expertise and talking about Wealthy Woman Lawyer. And I'm hoping that people will reach out that are intrigued by our discussion. Will reach out to find you at Wealthy Woman Lawyer. And also we'll be having all your links as well to the book that I'm going to buy to shortly after this, when this podcast goes live. But I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Evelyn. It's been my pleasure. I always enjoy having conversations with you. So thanks so much for inviting me.
You're welcome. And you're welcome up to Canada anytime, once you can get over the border.
Exactly.